says, BMW, why don't you like them? You know why? Because I work on them. Somebody asked the other day, do you still work on your own cars? Well, I rarely work on my own cars because I own nothing but Toyotas and a Lexus, and they very rarely break. I work on other people's cars during the week. I'm still a mechanic. This is a real mechanic shirt. They get dirt and grease on them. That's why they're gray. You can't see it as much. But work on BMWs, I used to work on a lot of them, even back in the 60s. They have gotten worse and worse and worse. Higher tech. Breakdown more. I'll give you an example. I had a customer that had a 3 Series with the twin turbo 6-cylinder engine. The turbos were going out. It was going to be about 12 grand, $12,000 to change those turbos out. And they're just like that. And plastic crap all over the place that breaks and cracks and then costs a fortune to fix. They're cheaply designed. That's all there is to it. You know, they used to be not that way, but for a long time they've been cheaper made. And when they break, they cost a fortune to fix. Years ago, like 30 years ago, they used to break. BMW has the highest resale value, and they based it on one particular model that they had. I believe it was like a 528E or something. Had this one insanely high resale value. Today, you can pick using up for a song and a dime. They're not worth anything. Customer, the turbo, he bought it from his brother-in-law for 15 grand. The original price was 40-something thousand, and it only had 40,000 miles. He spent so much money out. When I told him that with the turbos, he's getting rid of it and selling the stupid thing. They're money pits. Intruder V1 says, is the future hydrogen or electric cars? It might be a combination. The thing about electric cars are electric motors are efficient, yada yada, but their problem is they run on electric batteries. And electric batteries are heavy. They take a long time to recharge. Take a hydrogen fuel cell car. It also runs with electric motors, but it doesn't need a battery. It uses hydrogen to create electricity in a fuel cell, and the only waste product is water vapor coming out. The problem with them is, where the heck do you get the hydrogen from? Now, there's the guy who invented the click ads on the internet, who's made a lot of money. He's got a company in California in the Mojave Desert that's trying to work with mirrors and a giant tower to use the sun's energy to create hydrogen. And if he does that, and there's a process where that can be done cheaply, we could all be driving fuel cell cars in the future instead of electric cars with big heavy batteries, because our country already has an infrastructure of gas lines, and they could just switch to hydrogen gas instead of the gas that's in it now, natural gas. It wouldn't be that hard to switch it over. Where electric cars, the batteries are bulky, they're a real pain in the butt, and if everybody has electric cars, that's going to overwhelm the electrical grid. I don't see anybody anytime soon building a lot of power plants. So a lot of both of them are which infrastructure is going to win. Oog Brent says, should I buy a 2003 Cadillac Escalade with 133 miles for $2,700? Is it a good deal? You know how much that thing cost when it was new, and now it's only $2,700. Those things are gigantic, endless money pits. Now, $2,700 is nothing. Let's say you want to make a rap video or something. Well, you could use it great for the rap video. Maybe you'll make a bunch of money. You wouldn't have to worry about repairs. But if you're a normal person, that thing is going to be an endless money pit from now on. I got customers that bought them from new, and long before that mileage, they got rid of them because they said, the repairs were costing them too much. Realize they aren't what they used to be. They're big, giant vehicles, and they break down from weight and age at that age that, you know, unless you want it as a toy for the weekends, if you're going to drive it 10, 20,000 miles a year, it will turn into a gigantic pit. You'll fall in it as the Cadillac falls apart. Our Ransom On says, would you recommend a Kia vehicle to a 2015 Nissan Rogue? Oh, yes, I would. Nissan's quality has been going down since 2000 when Renault took over. Kia's actually, their quality is going up. Now, they're nowhere near as good as Toyotas and Hondas, but they're way over Nissans now. So I definitely would buy a Kia vehicle before I'd buy a Nissan Rogue. I got customers with Rogues, they all ended up swearing at them if they kept them, you know, for $100,000 or more. They had problems, transmissions, head gaskets blowing. Definitely, I'd go with a Kia over that. I'd get a Toyota or Honda myself, but you can get the Kias a lot cheaper. Aiden Toro says, thoughts on a 2006 Focus hatchback in Canada. Well, you got some pros there going. I went to school in Toronto. Focus hatchback. Got a lot of room for, put those back seats down. You get a bunch of hockey sticks in there, goalie equipment, so, you know, it can fit your lifestyle. The problem is they're kind of cheaply made, and they generally don't hold up. If you're talking about a standard transmission one, yeah, that could be a good, cheap little car to buy. Have a mechanic check the transmission out with his big scan tool first. If he says the tranny's no good, don't even think about buying. But for Canada, I mean, get those seats down. You can get everybody into the hockey game. Skates, sticks. Dinland Elevator Company says, what happened to your wife's Cressida? Well, It got old. Now, it still ran fine, but it had leather seats, and they were cracked like Death Valley. There were giant cracks in them. So we covered them up with some New Zealand sheepskin 100% seat covers, and they looked nice. But one day my wife said something's weird in my car, and I took off the sheepskin cover, and there was a colony of ants living in there in the leather. I'm like, whoa, she'd been sitting on it for God knows how long. And the paint was peeling off. So I sold it to a customer, and they drove it, and then I got her that Lexus she's driving now. She actually likes the Lexus better. It rides a little bit better. It's got more power. But she really liked that Cressida. Only after a certain time, when they get to be 30-something years old, believe me, anything is going to start cracking and breaking. In that case, the paint was going, and the leather seats were all cracked, and the money you'd put in it. I only paid $3,000 for the Lexus, which everything, the leather was in immaculate shape. It had 60,000 miles. That it only made sense. I would have had to put 2-3 times that into the Cressida, where I got the whole Lexus for $3,000. Didn't have to do anything except a little paint work that I paid my bodyguard to do. SB going retarded says, are Scions the same as Toyotas? Which parts are the same on them, and would you recommend them? Yeah, this is the same company. I mean, like I did one on a Scion XB the other day. It's got a Toyota Camry engine, transmission, brakes. It's anything. It's the same company. The only thing different is maybe some of the body shapes, but they're still making them. They're just calling them Toyotas. So you get a good deal on a used one, go ahead and buy it. There's absolutely nothing wrong with them. It wasn't like it's a rebranded Toyota. It's actual Toyota. They just changed the name, and then they decided, gee, that was kind of stupid, so we won't call them Scions anymore. We'll call them Toyotas. That was a marketing thing that went wrong. Corporations, a lot of them are dead from the neck up, and that was one example of that. BC Green says, Scotty, what product do you recommend to use to restore plastic parts on your vehicle? Yeah, it's a company called Lithium, just like the element or the drug that they give to people that are clinically depressed. Lithium. And they make special stuff, and one of their elixirs that comes in a bottle for like $30 is for doing plastic over. I got it in one of my videos. I was totally amazed when I got a dash part from a junkyard that was all faded and worn and scratched, and I polished it for about 10 minutes with their serum for plastic restore. My wife said, it looks brand new. And I was really shocked. Months later, it still did too. So Lithium's the name of the company. You can just look it up and you'll see they got a plastic restore. Give it a try. It really is amazing stuff. Albert says, Audi SQ5 certified pre-owned, more than 20K below MSRP, 2 years and one left of warranty. Bad idea? Yeah, it's a horrible idea. It's 20K below what it originally went for, but it's 2 years old, and they're endless money pits, period. You want to get it out of your system, lease one. Then you know exactly what you're going to spend. There's no hidden costs. If you actually buy one and then get rid of it 3 years later, you're going to lose so much more than if you just leased it and then gave it back to them. If you got to get an Audi, lease it. Have a fun experience. Anything breaks, they have to fix it for free. Do not buy a used Audi. That's all Scotty says. Any hope for modern Nissan CVTs? Well, where there's life, there's hope, the saying goes, right? Maybe they'll finally learn how to build them. I don't know. I'm not holding my breath on that one. Ever since Renault took over in 2000, Nissan's going down, lost like almost 80% sales last quarter. So did Renault. I don't think that that's boding for better quality. So who knows? Maybe things were changed. The world seems to be upside down with things that have been happening lately anyways. But I wouldn't be holding my breath on that one. Matt Man B says, do you ever get headaches? If so, what do you do about them? Oh, everybody gets headaches every now and then. Normally, I think them away. Power of the brain. I mean, those swamis in India. Those guys can almost stop their heartbeat. If you can control your mind, you're generally not going to get headaches. A lot of headaches are stress caused. And I take my stress out. I scream and yell if I get mad about something. I don't internalize it and then get ulcers. I'm not that type of guy. Like my wife says, I'll give her ulcers, but I'll never get any. Mike 104 says, what kind of fire extinguisher is best for auto? Oh, the Halon. You can't beat the Halon because that will do all kind of electrical gas fires at cars. Those are the same ones that they use in boats. You want a good one for that. And the Halon, they're expensive. They're very expensive, but they do work so much better. And if you're worried about saving people's lives, hey, don't spare expense, So it costs you $150 instead of $30. Your life's worth the difference. Or if you're a good Samaritan, you got one in the trunk and you see a fire on the road and you can put it out, you can save somebody's life, hey, it's worth it. And you'll find at most places, if you own one and you use it to save somebody's life, they will refill it free. A lot of times the fire departments have setups like that. You save somebody's life, then they'll refill your extinguisher because the good Halon ones are refillable. You don't throw them away, you refill them when you're done. And if you do something like that, save somebody's life, they'll gladly refill it for you. It's only fair. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.